In this era of constant noise, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. Every moment is bombarded with sounds and visuals, phones buzzing, screens flashing, the world demanding our attention. This relentless stimulation can make us feel like we're losing ourselves in a sea of endless chatter and digital noise. But what if I told you that the secret to gaining back control lies not in doing more, but in embracing less? The ancient Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, mastered this art thousands of years ago. They taught us that real strength doesn't come from reacting to every stimulus, but from choosing what to focus on and when to remain silent. You have power over your mind, not outside events, Marcus Aurelius wrote, reminding us that serenity begins with internal quiet. Today, we're diving deep into why cutting back on mental clutter and unnecessary talk can transform your life. We'll explore 7 powerful benefits of thinking less, speaking less, and focusing more. These are not just life hacks, but profound changes that can lead to greater tranquility, deeper wisdom, and lasting success. And remember, if you appreciate what we're doing here, a simple free favor I'll ask is for you to hit that subscribe button. Don't skip any part of this video, stick with me, and let's uncover how embracing the Stoic way can help you reclaim your peace of mind and power over your life. Benefit 1. Reduce stress and anxiety. Ever felt like your brain is just a whirlwind of worries and what-ifs? It's exhausting, right? But here's a thought from the Stoic playbook. Maybe the key to less stress isn't more thinking, it's less. The Stoics, like Epictetus, taught us that it's not the events themselves that disturb us, but our interpretation of these events. By focusing less on the noise and more on what we can control, we start to experience a real shift in our stress levels. When we actively decide to cut down on our mental clutter, something amazing happens. Our mind gets a break. Think about it. If your mind was a browser with dozens of tabs open, each one representing a worry or a thought, wouldn't closing some of them help it run better? That's essentially what we're doing when we choose to think less about things we can't control. We're closing the tabs. We're choosing not to engage with every fleeting thought that comes our way. And speaking of thinking less, it's about quality over quantity. It's not about suppressing thoughts, but guiding them. It's like gardening. You keep the plants you want and pull out the weeds. If a thought doesn't serve you or is out of your control, why let it take up space? When we simplify our thought processes and focus only on actionable and positive thoughts, the weight on our shoulders lightens. This approach is rooted deeply in Stoicism, which emphasizes resilience and emotional control through rational thinking. By practicing these principles, you can train your mind to remain calm and collected in situations where you'd normally feel stressed or anxious. It's about responding to life's challenges with a level head and a clear mind, not with panic or despair. This doesn't just reduce stress, it transforms how we perceive challenges, turning them from insurmountable mountains into manageable hurdles. Benefit 2. Increase calmness and serenity. It's fascinating when you think about it. The moments when we're truly at peace are often the ones that are the quietest. This is something the Stoics understood deeply. They championed the idea that serenity comes from within, not from the chaos of the outside world. When we choose to engage less with the turmoil around us and focus more on our inner calm, the world doesn't seem as loud or as frantic. Calmness and serenity aren't just pleasant states of mind, they're powerful tools. By speaking less and listening more, we create a space for peace to grow. It's like when you're in a bustling city street and you turn into a quiet library. Suddenly the world shifts, the pace changes, and your breath deepens. This is the effect of embracing silence in our daily lives. When we stop feeling the need to fill every silence with words, we start to appreciate the richness of quiet. Stoicism teaches us that by controlling our reactions, we can maintain an inner calm regardless of external circumstances. Imagine being in a stressful situation, say a work deadline looms and the pressure mounts. Instead of getting caught up in a frenzy of stress and last-minute hustle, you take a step back, you breathe, you prioritize your tasks and focus on one thing at a time. This is the Stoic method in action, clearing the mind, simplifying the task, and approaching it with a calm focus. The benefits of this approach are immense. Not only does it allow us to handle stress more effectively, but it also enhances our overall well-being. When we're calm, we're better thinkers, listeners, and problem solvers. We're more present in our relationships, and we're better able to enjoy life's pleasures. Being serene doesn't mean being passive. It means being actively engaged in the pursuit of peace. By incorporating Stoic practices into our routine, such as meditation, reflection, and mindful breathing, we cultivate a tranquil mind. These practices help us filter out the noise and focus on what truly matters. They teach us to respond, not react. The more we practice, the more natural it becomes to remain undisturbed by the chaos of everyday life, and the deeper our well of serenity grows. This doesn't just benefit us individually, it radiates outward, influencing our environment and the people around us in positive ways. Benefit 3. Enhance focus and productivity. Have you ever noticed how much more you get done when you're truly dialed into what you're doing? That sharp, crystal-clear focus that makes you feel like you can accomplish anything is not just a random occurrence. It's a state of mind that you can cultivate deliberately, especially if you take a leaf out of the Stoic playbook. The Stoics were big on focusing only on what's essential, cutting through the noise to concentrate on what truly matters. In our hyper-connected world, distractions are not just common, they're built into our everyday life. Phones ping, emails arrive incessantly, and social media feeds update constantly. But imagine if you could turn down that noise. Imagine organizing your day so that you could focus fully on each task before moving on to the next. This is the essence of Stoic focus, giving your whole attention to one thing at a time and doing it excellently. This kind of focus naturally leads to increased productivity. When you're not splitting your attention across multiple tasks, you're not just working harder, you're working smarter. You begin to notice the details you might miss when multitasking. You solve problems more efficiently and come up with better solutions because your mind isn't flitting from one thing to another. The Stoics teach us that by eliminating unnecessary thoughts and actions, we free up our mental resources for important tasks. This doesn't mean ignoring your responsibilities, but rather prioritizing them in a way that you deal with them one at a time, giving each your full energy. For instance, when tackling a project, you might break it down into manageable parts and set clear goals for each session. This methodical approach reduces overwhelm and makes large tasks feel more doable. Furthermore, practicing Stoicism helps us develop the resilience to resist distractions. By fostering an inner discipline, we train ourselves to stay on task even when temptations arise. We become more aware of our impulses to check our phone or browse the web, and we learn to pause, recognize the distraction for what it is, and return to our task with renewed focus. Benefit 4. Boost self-control. Self-control is one of those superpowers that seems almost mythical, isn't it? It's like every time we manage to say no to that extra slice of cake or yes to an early morning workout, we're tapping into something extraordinary. But what if I told you that self-control isn't just about resisting temptation, it's about much more? According to Stoic philosophy, It's about governing our reactions to the world around us in a way that aligns with our deepest values. Now, the Stoics were masters of self-discipline. They believed that the path to happiness was paved with virtue, and that self-control was a critical part of that. For them, it wasn't about denying themselves the joys of life, but choosing to not be dominated by passions that could lead to irrational decisions and ultimately unhappiness. This is why they practiced moderation in all things, from their emotions to their actions. In today's context, boosting self-control can mean the difference between getting swayed by every little distraction that comes your way or staying steadfast on your path to personal and professional fulfillment. Think about how often we're pulled away from important tasks by less important but immediately gratifying distractions. Every time you choose to focus on your work instead of checking your phone, you're exercising self-control. This kind of discipline directly impacts our productivity and our ability to achieve our goals. When you strengthen your self-control, you're not just improving your ability to work without interruption, you're also enhancing your ability to think critically and make decisions that are not influenced by fleeting emotions. This is essential because emotions can be powerful drivers of action, but when left unchecked, they can lead us astray. Stoicism offers practical steps for boosting self-control. For example, practicing mindfulness can help us become more aware of our impulses, allowing us to respond rather than react. By taking a moment to pause when an impulse strikes, we give ourselves the space to choose a response that aligns with our goals and values. This might look like taking a few deep breaths when feeling overwhelmed, or stepping back to assess whether our next action will help or hinder our progress. Enhancing self-control is about cultivating a deeper sense of peace and satisfaction. As we become more adept at controlling our impulses and managing our responses, we find that we're not only more productive, but also more content. We're less at the mercy of the ups and downs of our emotions, and more in tune with a stable, balanced way of living. Benefit 5. Communicate more effectively. Communication is like the glue that holds our social fabric together, isn't it? Whether it's chatting with a friend, discussing a project at work, or even negotiating a deal, how we express ourselves plays a pivotal role in the outcome. Now, Stoicism might not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think about communication skills, but it's incredibly relevant. The Stoics were big on the idea that it's not just what you say, but how you say it that matters. They believed in the power of being measured and thoughtful with words, which is essential for clear and impactful communication. So, how does embracing a Stoic approach help us communicate more effectively? First off, it teaches us the value of listening. Seneca, one of the most renowned Stoic philosophers, famously said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen twice as much as we speak." This is golden advice in any conversation. Active listening helps us to really understand the other person's perspective, not just to wait for our turn to speak. It shows respect and allows for more constructive dialogues. When you truly listen, you respond more thoughtfully, which naturally enhances the quality of your interactions. Moreover, Stoicism encourages us to focus on clarity and brevity in our speech. The Stoics were not fans of rambling or speaking without purpose. They prized the ability to speak concisely and clearly, cutting through the noise and delivering messages in a way that they could be easily understood. This doesn't mean being blunt or curt. Rather, it's about being considerate of the listener's time and attention. By choosing our words carefully and ensuring they truly convey what we mean, we reduce misunderstandings and make our communication more effective. There's also the Stoic belief in staying calm under pressure, which is a superpower in difficult conversations. Imagine you're in a heated discussion. The Stoic approach would be to maintain your composure and not let emotions get the best of you. This isn't about suppressing feelings, but about managing them constructively. By staying calm, you keep the conversation productive and open the door to resolutions rather than conflicts. It's about responding with reason rather than reacting with emotion. Incorporating these Stoic principles into your daily communication doesn't just improve how you talk or listen. It transforms your interactions into more meaningful and fulfilling exchanges. Whether it's at home, with friends, or in the workplace, effective communication fosters better relationships, smoother cooperation, and a deeper understanding of others. It's about making every word count and every interaction matter. Benefit 6. Build respect from others. Respect is one of those invaluable currencies in life that can't be bought, but must be earned, often through the subtle art of how we carry ourselves and interact with others. Interestingly, Stoicism offers a powerful toolkit for earning this respect naturally. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius believed that respect comes from personal integrity and the ability to maintain composure, particularly in trying circumstances. Their teachings suggest that by cultivating a calm demeanor and thoughtful behavior, we naturally command respect from those around us. Imagine walking into a room where tensions are high. People are anxious, perhaps voices are raised. Now, picture yourself responding not with agitation, but with a composed and calm demeanor. This kind of response doesn't just diffuse tension, it also draws people's attention. It makes them think, there's someone who's in control. When you react with poise rather than panic, you demonstrate leadership qualities that naturally make people respect and trust your judgment. Moreover, Stoicism teaches the importance of consistency in our actions and words. Consistency is key to building trust, and trust is foundational to respect. When people know what to expect from you and see that you act according to your principles, regardless of the situation, they begin to hold you in higher regard. It's about showing, not just telling. If you consistently apply Stoic principles such as fairness, patience, and self-control, people are more likely to respect you because they see these virtues in action. Then there's the aspect of speaking wisely. Stoics place great emphasis on thinking before speaking, ensuring that when words are used, they are meaningful and considered. In a world where everyone seems to be shouting to be heard, choosing your words carefully can actually make you stand out. When you do speak, if your words consistently reflect wisdom and insight, people are more inclined to listen and value your input. This approach not only builds respect, but also establishes you as a thoughtful leader or colleague. Lastly, respect through Stoicism is also about showing respect to others. It's a reciprocal dynamic. By demonstrating respect for others' ideas, feelings, and contributions, you foster a respectful environment. This mutual respect not only enhances personal relationships, but also creates a more positive and productive community, be it in a professional setting or personal life. Benefit 7. Live a more meaningful and simpler life. Isn't it curious how sometimes when you strip away the excess, what you're left with feels so much richer? Stoicism teaches us this very principle, that a simpler life isn't about having less, but about making room for more of what truly enriches us. It's about decluttering not just physically, but also mentally and emotionally. This philosophy encourages us to focus on our core values and priorities, trimming away the distractions that don't serve us. The Stoics, like Epictetus, believed that freedom comes from within, from our ability to control our responses to the world around us, rather than being controlled by it. By reducing our desires to the essentials and focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, our actions, our responses, we can lead lives of greater significance and tranquility. Imagine living each day with a clear sense of purpose, where your energies are spent on actions that are directly aligned with your deep-seated values. This isn't just liberating, it's deeply satisfying. In practical terms, adopting a simpler, more meaningful lifestyle means making conscious choices about where to allocate your time and energy. It involves asking yourself whether each activity or commitment is bringing you closer to your ideal life, or if it's merely filling time. This could mean opting to spend more time with family instead of attending yet another networking event, or choosing to read a book that enlightens you instead of mindlessly scrolling through social media. Moreover, living simply helps us cultivate gratitude for what we have. Stoicism doesn't teach us to forsake joy or pleasure. Rather, it teaches us to find joy in the pleasure that simplicity brings. There is profound joy in appreciating the ordinary moments. A quiet morning with a cup of coffee, the laughter of a loved one, the peace of a walk in nature. When we stop chasing after more things, more achievements, more engagements, we start experiencing more of life's genuine moments. This simplicity also extends to our interactions and how we handle challenges. Stoicism equips us to face life's complexities with a calm and steady hand. By simplifying our internal world, we are better able to manage the external chaos. Challenges become less daunting because our perspective has shifted to what is within our power to change, and we let go of the rest. As we wrap up our exploration of Stoic principles, it's clear that the power of less is not about depriving ourselves, but enriching our lives. Embracing less clutter, less noise, less unnecessary busyness, opens up space for more focus, more peace, more meaningful interactions. It's about making intentional choices that align with our deepest values and letting go of the rest. This approach doesn't just simplify our lives, it amplifies them, bringing into sharp relief what truly matters. Remember, the journey to embracing less isn't about achieving perfection overnight. It's a gradual process of adjustment and understanding, a path that you pave as you learn what less means to you. It's about finding your own balance between action and contemplation, speaking and silence, abundance and simplicity. Each step on this path can lead to profound changes in how you view and interact with the world. Thank you for joining me today at Stoic Journal. If you found this exploration into Stoic simplicity enlightening, don't forget to watch the suggested video popping up on your screen now for more insights into how these ancient principles can be applied to modern life challenges. Remember, less can truly be more. Let's continue this journey together, finding strength in simplicity and wisdom in tranquility.